Now at SuTV News, bringing an entire community to Frisco, the Bison Nation heads south.
Honoring a civil rights movement leader, what students did on National Volunteer Day.
And in sports, the Bison head north in a non-conference matchup. Hello and welcome to SuTV News. I'm Ryan Borstelman.
And I'm Taryn Smith. Call it a second time's a charm. After finishing second last year at the National Championships, the Bison dance team came back this year with a vengeance.
The team brought home the national title in the Division I POM category. They took third in jazz. This is the highest they've ever placed in either category. And since you probably were not down in Orlando, you can see their routines later this spring when the competition airs on ESPN.
And speaking of national championships, the Bison football team had quite the ride of their own. But it was also what happened outside the game that formed memories that will last forever. SuTV's Brandon Clark was down in Frisco to watch the fairy tale ending come true.
This thing is an entire event. We're obviously down here for a football game, but what the players and the coaches have been doing is much more than just football. In fact, when they walked into an elementary school here in Texas, they might as well have been running through the dome with 10,000 strong at their side.
It's pretty awesome to have that support from these guys.
Walk into Bright Elementary School here in Frisco, and you'd never know you were 1,100 miles south of Fargo. Green and yellow filled the school gym as Bison players and coaches roared through the doors, bringing one thundering message.
A lot of people don't know how much, they kind of forget about that we are in college right now doing, taking the classes and going to school. And, I think it's good to, teach the importance of, if you don't do well in school, you're not going to be able to have this chance that we have.
Though it wasn't just an educational message. The players weren't just representing solid student athletes. They were representing a nation, the Bison Nation, as they brought the entire community to Frisco.
Our players don't think of themselves as some cut above everybody else. They think of themselves as students first and then athletes, and this is just all very natural for them.
Whether it was hanging out with the kids, or playing games alongside teammates and competitors at a Wild West showdown. This event of sorts was a chance to show what the Bison are all about.
It's an experience, and then everything we can do that's a part of this great event that the FCS committee puts on for us, the NCAA puts on for us, is great, and we're having a lot of fun, and we're very thankful to be a part of this.
And while players and coaches alike never forgot the true mission of the trip to bring home NDSU's first Division I national championship, the chance to take in all the sights and sounds of Frisco, well, it kind of grew on them.
This hat fits me very well, and the spirit of Frisco, Texas is just getting to me. So I don't know, I think I just might have to convert over to the Cowboy side.
Brandon Clark, SuTV News.
SuTV Sports' Jake Cheetah will have more on this game later in the show.
Well, this Monday was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and students at NDSU had a day without classes. But while many students slept in, some woke up early to volunteer their time for the community. Those volunteers kicked off North Dakota State University's Service Days 2012, a week-long volunteer project with different events each day. On Monday, volunteers participated in the MLK Junior Service Plunge, during which they could volunteer with over 40 different nonprofit organizations in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Close to 400 students turned out for the MLK volunteer event.
The rewarding part about it, you just kind of feel good because you're helping out people who are in need, and NDSU just has a lot of great people.
The week-long volunteer event also included a presentation on the problem of homelessness in the Fargo-Moorhead area, blanket making, and information about different nonprofit organizations. NDSU students volunteered more than 1,000 hours on Monday alone.
Applicants have been chosen by the North Dakota State University system to become its new chancellor. Fargo Republican Senator Tim Flackel is one of the top 6 candidates. Flackel earned a master's degree in animal and range sciences from NDSU. He currently serves as provost of the Tri-College University, as well as downtown operations at NDSU. While some members of the board think having a doctorate degree is most important, others think leadership skills are more important. Recommendations for the new chancellor will be made this March, and their role will begin July 1st. Well, we will have to wish those applicants the best of luck.
It is nice to see that they're pulling applicants from within the NDSU community.
It sure is. Coming up next on
SuTV News, only 3 were handed out and NDSU got one of them. We'll tell you about this award when we return.
North Dakota State University, there are tons of reasons to map bus.
I'm at bus to get to class on time. I don't have to use my car, waste gas, or waste time finding a parking spot. I'm at bus because their hybrid buses not only help our community and our state, but they're also helping our world.
I'm at bus not only to get around campus, but to get around the Fargo community. The 25 different routes get me anywhere I need to be.
There are many reasons to map bus. Come find yours.
Join the herd. Be Matt Bus strong.
Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich. Delivery guys.
Total is $472. How do you want to pay for that today?
I have a few different cards I want to put it on.
There is an easier way to do this. Book charging and rentals, only at the NDSU bookstore. SuTV News is being brought to you by Stop and Go. Stop and Go. We're always there.
Nearly 40 cats received a new home over winter break. A local shelter for abandoned cats has moved. The shelter not only helps the cats, but also helps some NDSU students. SuTV News reporter Jake Cheetah has more.
Minn Kota Paws is a nonprofit shelter that does low-cost spaying and neutering. But Paws no longer wants to shelter the animals. They just want to use the facility for procedures.
At that point in time, we determined we were not going to allow our cats to go to farms. We were not going to be shut down. We found a new facility.
Carol says the most difficult part of the move has been the organizational side. They had everything moved by December 17th. This move might have been hard on the animals, but it has its benefits.
So the benefit, first of all, is a nice home, a larger home. It has a lobby and a front door. We think it's going to be a great move. We're going to be called Cat's Cradle Shelter.
Cat's Cradle hopes to expand and have more cats in the future. More room also means more help to NDSU vet tech students as well. Aurora here is one of about a dozen cats that NDSU veterinary students spend 28 days working on. They learn how to give them shots, how to spay and neuter them, and even get to name them.
Each student is assigned a cat for socialization and for cares. It's almost an added stamp of approval over and above what the other cats are because they've had just a little bit extra. And it's been a win-win from both sides.
Cat's Cradle is winning by getting more room and more hands. Students are winning from getting hands-on experience.
They all act differently, and what they tell you in the book isn't necessarily what's going to happen. It's good experience because you just got to go with the flow and learn as you go.
What is the most important thing that these vet tech students learn?
Responsibility. We probably put in 5 to 10 hours just in cleaning a week. If you don't show, that animal doesn't eat.
Jake Cheetah reporting, SuTV News.
NDSU started their collaboration with the Cat's Cradle program this semester and is in their second year collaborating with the For Love of Dogs. If you're interested in adopting a cat, please visit the new Cat's Cradle shelter located at 9 9th Street South in Fargo.
The NDSU Library got national recognition recently when they received a prestigious award for their German heritage collection. NDSU's Germans from Russia exhibit, located in the library, was one of the 3 WOW Award winners this past year. The WOW Award is presented by the American Association of State and Local History. It is meant to recognize and commemorate anyone around the country who has done exceptional work in preserving their local culture. The Germans from Russia Heritage Collection includes everything from translated books to national documentaries. For more information, contact Michael Miller in the NDSU Library.
Students were able to cut loose this Saturday as they listened to various DJs. NDSU's Blacklight Underground saw between 800 and 900 students. 5 different DJs played throughout the night, including Battle Rattle, the winner of last year's Blacklight Underground DJ contest. Each DJ played a different style of electronic music. Some included house, techno, and dubstep. As the night came to a close, the crowd demanded more, and the event ended with 3 encores. Well, I'll tell you what, it's nice to see that Residence Life puts on a very good events every night.
Yeah, that sure sounds like something I would have liked to attend.
Between 800 and 900 students, it sounded like they have a great turnout. When we return, a look at your favorite recipes in the dining centers.
Location for both students and staff to get food, but numerous people are taking an extra step and are doing.
There's always something happening on the NDSU campus. Catch it all on SuTV News on Cable 1, Channel 14. Brought to you in part by Shields and Stop and Go.
Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich. Delivery guys.
North Dakota State University's Governor's School helped prepare a high school student for her future in a way she never expected. The 6-week program allowed Anna Bernhardt to work alongside a mentor scientist and his research team. Bernhardt worked with the nanotechnology and prepared samples of single-wall carbon nanotubes. Although she had never done research like this before, she quickly started conducting experiments of her own. The purpose of the research is to make materials for electronics less expensive. Bernhardt's contributions to the research earned her a spot as co-author in a major scientific journal of the American Chemical Society.
Well, NDSU students have been enjoying meals from the dining centers, but not all of them were cooked ahead of time for them. Students across campus have been cooking their own meals on the grills, and SuTV News set out to find out what some of the hottest meals actually are.
NDSU's dining centers are a hot location for both students and staff to get food, but numerous people are taking an extra step and are doing far more than simply getting their meals handed to them. Many have found themselves standing up and cooking their own food. sophomore Jake Krebs shares his secret recipe to scrambled eggs.
You gotta have the right amount of cheese, salt, pepper, bacon, and some mustard for any breakfast meal. And then some days Tabasco sauce, sometimes not. You know, it depends on how spicy you want them.
While some students stick to the basic ingredients, others have found themselves creating their own unique cuisines.
The best way to make grilled cheese is with both cheddar and American cheese, or a mixture of the two, which is what I used. And you just wait till it's perfectly golden brown.
Many people, such as Jake and Sarah, use the grills for merely cooking their meals. However, other residents have found themselves utilizing them for socialization.
Every once in a while, I'll make a sandwich or do some stir fry, and it's a good opportunity to interact with residents and other people. It's kind of a social thing. Sometimes I'll bring residents with, teach them how to make stuff on the grill, and yeah.
So whether you want to socialize or just cook a delicious meal, NDSU's Dining Center's grills are ready for all you can throw at them. For SuTV News, I'm Adam Kempenik.
Thank you, Adam. SuTV News wants to hear your new recipes. You can send them to us on our Facebook wall.
Well, I know when I lived in the dorms, my favorite recipe was always just to take everything in the salad bar minus the vegetables and just throw it on there and see what I could come up with.
Yeah, I sure enjoyed those hot sandwiches.
My preference was the grilled cheese sandwiches, especially on tomato soup day.
Also, omelets in the morning were delicious after a good morning workout. Coming up in SuTV Sports, NDSU took on UND in a rivalry game up in Grand Forks. This and more when we come back.
$472. How do you want to pay for that today?
I have a few different cards I want to put it on.
There is an easier way to do this. Book charging and rentals, only at the NDSU bookstore.
With MapBus being the easiest, greenest, and most efficient way to get around North Dakota State University, there are tons of reasons to MapBus.
I'm at bus to get to class on time. I don't have to use my car, waste gas, or waste time finding a parking spot. I'm at bus because their hybrid buses not only help our community and our state, but they're also helping our world.
I'm at bus not only to get around campus, but to get around the Fargo community. The 25 different routes get me anywhere I need to be.
There are many reasons to Matt Bus. Come find yours.
Join the herd. Be Matt Bus strong.
There's always something happening on the NDSU campus. Catch it all on SuTV News on Cable 1, Channel 14. Brought to you in part by Shields and Stop and Go.
SuTV Sports is being brought to you by Shields. Ready for your next big adventure? Welcome to Shields.
Welcome back. The NDSU men continued their rivalry against UND Tuesday night. A crowd of over 7,000 fans watched in Grand Forks at the Ralph Engelstad Arena. Going now to the Ralph Engelstad Arena in the first half. Before the half, the Bison were down 1, and Dylan Hale knocks down a 3, and the Bison would lead 27-23 at the half. In the second half, they get off to a solid start as Lawrence Alexander drives the lane and hits a layup to give the Bison a 4-point lead. 2 minutes later, Trayvon Wright drives to the hoop, and he would score, keeping the Bison up by 3. UND would stage a comeback, though, as Jamal Webb knocks down a deep three right there as UND would lead by 1. And late in the game, Aaron Anderson would drive through a lot of Bison traffic, and he would hit the layup to give UND a lead that they would not relinquish as UND takes the game 59-54 over the Bison. Bjorklund would have 13 points, and Mike Felt would end the night with 12. Now heading to the Bison Sports Arena as NDSU took on the UMKC Roos. Carolyn Dehoff looking on in the first half with 5.5 minutes left. Thomas gets a steal. She gets the ball to O'Connor. O'Connor goes behind the back to Thomas, and she would hit the layup to give the Roos a 35-18 lead. A couple minutes later, Nizaya hits a three-pointer, and then the next play, Van Kirk would hit a shot from the top of the key. She had 7 on the night. With 3 seconds left in the game, Thomas would hit a long three. She had 22 of her career-high 24 points in the first half. UMKC would win the game 76-58. The men and women both face SDSU at home this weekend. The Gridiron Power Index released their final standings for the 2011-2012 football season. The national champion Bison finished in the top spot. They were followed by runner-up Sam Houston State. A tie for third between Georgia Southern and Montana, and the Missouri Valley Conference foe University of Northern Iowa rounded out the top 5. The Bison also finished with 2 votes for the BCS Top 25, which tied them with Penn State. NDSU football coach Craig Bohl received another award this week. He's been named the Field Turf 2011 FCS Coach of the Year. Bohl led the Bison to their first ever FCS National Championship, beating Sam Houston State. LSU's Les Miles was named the Field Turf's FBS Coach of the Year despite losing that championship game. After 9 years as the Bison head women's soccer coach, Pete Quadrado will be moving on. He's agreed to become the head coach at Wyoming. At NDSU, Quadrado compiled a record of 93, 62, and 8. He also made 3 straight Summit League tournament appearances and the team's only NCAA Division I tournament berth. Director of Women's Athletics Lynn Dorn says the search for a new head coach will begin immediately. A Bison athlete could be on the way to London, England, but not for a vacation, rather to compete in the 2012 Summer Olympics. Shannon Brooks, a junior soccer player, has been selected to play for the Guatemalan national team. Brooks will be competing with Guatemala in the Olympic qualifying tournament in Vancouver, British Columbia. The team opens qualifying on January 20th against Mexico before taking on the United States on the 22nd. The top 2 teams in the 8-team qualifier will move on to play in London this summer. The NDSU club hockey team will try to snap a 4-game losing streak this weekend when they host the Dakota College of Bottineau. After an impressive 7-3 start, the Bison have lost 7 of their last 10. Friday's game against the Lumberjacks begins at 7:30 p.m. at the Shields Arena. Saturday night's game will be played at the Fargo Coliseum. Well, the hockey team has been struggling as of late, but they got off to a hot start, just like a lot of NDSU-affiliated sports this season.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to how the season will turn out.
And you can't really argue with the results of the football team.
Football team had a great season. Soccer and volleyball both made it to the conference championships. It's just been a great year all around.
Well, and 2 votes for the FBS Top 25. That's impressive, actually.
And the Bison finished in a 3-way tie for the Capital One Bowl Cup.
There you go. It's been a good year all around so far. Hopefully we keep it going. Still to come at SuTV News, a Fargo bridal shop helps students prepare for their big day.
Watch the time fly. The bridal shop.
With MapBus being the easiest, greenest, and most efficient way to get around North Dakota State University, there are tons of reasons to MapBus.
I'm at bus to get to class on time. I don't have to use my car, waste gas, or waste time finding a parking spot. I'm at bus because their hybrid buses not only help our community and our state, but they're also helping our world.
I'm at bus not only to get around campus, but to get around the Fargo community. The 25 different routes get me anywhere I need to be.
There are many reasons to Matt Bus. Come find yours.
Join the herd. Be Matt Bus strong.
Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich. Delivery guys.
Total is $472. How do you want to pay for that today?
I have a few different cards I want to put it on.
There is an easier way to do this. Book charging and rentals, only at the NDSU bookstore.
It's a world of white, but this wonderland is not winter. In fact, this wonderland just might warm your heart. SuTV News reporter Allie Weary has more.
Most people have very busy schedules. Add planning a wedding into the mix and watch the time fly. The bridal shop helps brides-to-be manage their time a little better.
Brides that are usually in their last year of college, ones that'll probably be graduating before their wedding date. A lot of brides have summer weddings, and then they usually have like a spring graduation date.
Though it's common to see brides of a young age, the bridal shop sees women of all ages coming in to look for their perfect dress. Consultants encourage them to try something similar in style to a dress they like, but something they may find adventurous. When asked her favorite part of the job,
having brides cry when they find their wedding gown and their whole family is crying. It's a really special moment, and I always get goosebumps.
What do you do? Do you guys...
Because planning a wedding can be so time-consuming, the consultants say to start shopping a year in advance. The first step in the process?
To find out what they're looking for, if they've looked at dresses prior, and then really take them through the process of choosing some dresses that they think they might like, and then also providing some suggestions.
It's a lot more than just finding the right dress.
Brides, when they're planning, they really want it to be an experience when they come in, so they will take time off or schedule around other things going on in their lives, whether it be school or work or whatever.
Part of the experience is the feel-good music played throughout the store.
So it's not just about the dress, it's kind of more of a consulting thing, and it's fun to get involved in those details.
Finding the perfect dress is just one of the many tasks brides face. But here at the bridal shop in South Fargo, the consultants make finding that dress a little bit easier. Reporting for SuTV News, I'm Allie Weary.
Well, whether it's about finding the perfect dress or having the experience of a lifetime, it's evident that a lot goes into planning a wedding. For brides-to-be, it's something to look forward to. Well, I'll tell you what, it's nice to see that these bridal shops are helping NDSU students out, because I personally know several students that are friends of mine that are actually planning their weddings right now.
I have a couple friends as well who are getting married in the next few months, and I know they're going through a lot of stress, so to have help from a bridal shop must really be nice for them.
Yeah, I do as well, and picking out that perfect dress is probably one of the most exciting parts.
Most exciting and most stressful, I suppose. So it's good to see their help. Well, thanks for watching SuTV News. Don't forget to pick up your copy of The Spectrum and check us out at www.ndsubin.com.